Hello, everyone. It's Ingrid from thinkingthis.com. Today we are setting up week 33 in my Sterling Ink Common Planner. Afterwards, we'll say our affirmations and we'll add an entry to my Dream Interpretation Commonplace book. All right. All right, so let's get to it. Here we are. This is week 32. Didn't really fill these in. I did work on stuff. Did I finish stuff? No. But I did do more than the time blocks I had allotted. I just still needed more time. But whatever. We're going to do the best we can. And we're just going to keep showing up every day and diligently following through with our plans. And so that's week 32. Let's get into week 33. It's another super hot day today. There's something happening with my air conditioner upstairs. Very upsetting. Because late afternoon is when it really gets nasty in this room. And it is nasty. I'm probably going to want to take a nap. I don't know. This is uncomfortable. So we are time blocking dinner as usual. We're starting with dinner. And why do we start with dinner? Because if dinner is late, then bedtime is late. And if bedtime is late, then we're waking up late. And then the next day, we feel like we're totally behind. So having dinner cooked by 7 o'clock is almost like a way to make me feel like I'm in control of the day. So that's why I start there first. Okay. After we time block dinner, I like to do the bedtime routine because that's the second place. Like if you get to bed on time, you're more likely to wake up on time, and then you feel like you're ahead, or at least you feel like you're in tune with your schedule. Hello, sister. You're here on the PC today. Okay. Thank you for coming. Hello, hello, hello. So here we go. Bedtime routine. I have reached the level of sleepiness where I can barely see what I'm doing. This is going to be interesting. Also, trying to keep myself from yawning. All right, there we go. What's next? We are adding our task dots. And we forgot to add the dinner task dots. Hello, Pocoyo. Okay, so I was very good and I baked 2 batches of bread last week. Yay. I also did wash spirit dishes yesterday. I did do this, but I'm just going to cross it out. I'm not going to write down what I actually did. Maybe I should, but we're here now. We're on week 33, and now the time is supposed to be focused on what I need to do. So we're not going to worry about what we did. We have to trust that it was enough. Okay, so we have to write PM reflection here. And weekly review. Okay. Next up, I tend to want to do the next thing that one needs to be on top of, or that I need to be on top of, which is homeschool admin. That wasn't supposed to happen on Saturday. Let's just erase that real quick. Okay. There is something here. An appointment. It's important to do appointments too. Sometimes I do the appointments before I do the homeschool admin, just because I know that's gonna get in the way. So we have the ruler out. We might as well add the live at 3:30. And book club at 7:30. Okay, live. And then book club. Okay, so we have that. No other appointments as far as I can tell, although about to have my morning ruined on Monday because I got to do the drop-off. And we don't like to do the drop-off. Oh my God. But we're here. We're doing it. All right, so that should happen there. There's the drop-off. And then the pickup. So what are you up to today, sister? Any planning, or you're just hanging out? All right, so that is the pickup. Okay. That's going to stay that way for now. And then at 4:30 every day, I am supposed to update the homeschool register. This makes it much easier for me to write progress reports and stuff like that, and to basically know, what are we supposed to be doing? Like, when I'm filling this out, then I'm like, hey, this person needs more review, and I would be writing that in for the next day. So it's not just for back planning, but if I have enough time, I can also be more prepared for the next morning. My sister says she's procrastinating cleaning her son's room. Oh, I feel your pain. The longer you wait, the worse it will feel. Okay, so update. Homeschool register. There we go. I forgot to, add the dot color for the appointments. Okay, so further on in the homeschool admin, we are still in that situation where we are still working on the embarrassing project that I talked about last week. And if you want to know what that embarrassing project is, go watch one of my previous lives. I'm just tired of mentioning it because I'm not done with it. And so I don't want to talk about it anymore. Even though we have to plan for it. And so we're going to follow last week's delineations. One thing I noticed is that Monday is always shot. I don't know why. I don't know why Monday night I can never, I don't know, I can never be done. I can never, work these 2 hours or 3 hours between 7 and 10. I don't know what it is about Mondays, but we're going to write it down again today. Hopefully we can figure that out tomorrow. But I don't know. Is it because kids are dragging their feet more after a weekend off, and then I'm just delayed? I'm not exactly sure why that is, but I gotta do it. Another thing that I have added to my schedule is some self-therapy time. Every Tuesday at 6:30, from 6:30 to 7, I'm going to be doing my therapeutic work, whether it's reading a book to address, what I would be addressing in a therapeutic session, or it's me doing the journaling prompts that book most likely will be assigning. So now every Tuesday, 6:30 to 7, that's what we're going to do. And the color that I use for that is this like light blue. And that is the mental health color. This like very pale blue. Okay, next, we have reading for book club. I'm actually caught up with the reading, as we talked about last book club. However, I'm not caught up with my notes. I like to take notes. It's those notes that then I would use to fill out my dream interpretation commonplace book if such an entry is necessary. And before I thought of that, it was necessary. I just didn't have the book for it. So now I gotta go through my bib cards and see if there's any dream interpretation stuff that I can add into my dream interpretation commonplace book. So that's mostly what's happening on Tuesday until it's time to read the next section because I haven't finished. Okay. All right. I jumped in there to do this, but I mean, I don't know, what are we calling this? Planning out the evening routine, I guess. Okay, so Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday again. Raisa says, it should be done soon. You did the difficult part yesterday. Just have to put the stuff away. Yeah, putting stuff away for me can be the difficult part. Like, the most difficult part for me when it comes to laundry is the putting away. I don't know, like I can sit there and fold it, but now I've got to figure out what drawer it goes into and whose clothes is this and all this other stuff. I find the putting away very tedious. And I will tend to procrastinate there most often, in the putting away. Okay, continuing. So we have Thursday. Saturday night. Friday night. I mean, Sunday night. Raisa says that's probably why she's procrastinating more now. You didn't realize it until I mentioned it. What, that the putting away is the most tedious? Yeah. If you drank wine, I'd be like, pour yourself a glass of wine and challenge yourself to finish before the glass of wine ends. Make it a game somehow. Okay. So we have the homeschool admin time. You have soda. Yum. I could use one right now. That would actually be great. Okay, so we have done the homeschool admin time. I might as well, since I'm here, do the Friday bookkeeping time. I did not do my bookkeeping this past Friday because I was a nice mommy and painted my daughter's nails, and it took forever because she wanted a design. Yeah, I know. I know you meant the soda. That's why I said the soda and I didn't say the brand. Yeah, so I didn't get to it on Friday because I painted my daughter's nails instead. So this time we got to do it Friday the 15th. One thing I forgot to do once again is put in that the books are what days the books are open. So let's get that again. And I painted her nails, and of course I didn't have time to paint my nails. It's like only one of us is gonna get it. Only one of us can have it. All right, there we go. There we have put in the work. We have put in bookkeeping. There is our indicator that the books are open. Okay, so what next? We've pretty much nailed down the evenings and the work. That's what we have finalized. Okay, so Monday we start at 10, but Tuesday, Wednesday it's 9:30. Friday. Oh my God, no. YouTube is not responding. This is not good. Unable to connect to chat. I don't even know what to do. All right, I just gave myself a test chat to see if it's just old. I don't know. I don't know what it's saying. Well, thank you for telling me you're here, sister. I don't know. I froze there. I see you now. I see you on the live feed, but not in the studio feed. The studio feed still says it can't connect to the chat. I don't freaking know. Moving on. Homeschool instruction time. That's what we're time blocking right now. Ooh, that's so messy. Yeah, you know why I froze? Because I was just kicked off the internet, like whatever. Just bumped off. Yeah, something is happening where I can't see what you're saying in studio. I have to be watching as somebody and then I can see what you're saying. So, I don't know. Being bumped off the internet must have done something. Okay, so that's it for homeschool instruction. So we're going to highlight that. There we go. You never knew what until I said it just now. I can never remember what I was talking about when people are responding to me. Um okay, so that's it. We have time blocked homeschool admin, we have time blocked homeschool instruction. Now it's time to time block cleaning. Only 30 minutes of cleaning on Monday. And then Saturday cleaning. Oh, about the studio. Oh, yeah. I mean, if I didn't think it would mess things up, I would share my screen and then you could see what I'm talking about. But we're just gonna leave it. Cleaning. Cleaning. Laundry. Vacuum. Spirit dishes. Okay. Just gonna turn my book over. I mean, tilt my book because this is how I write neatest, is tilting that book at a severe angle. So cleaning. And then wash. Spirit dishes. I could do it like that under there too. And then vacuum. Foyer. And then laundry. Excellent. There was something else. Oh, no, not that. Okay, so here we are. We are done with the cleaning tasks. Now what we have left is the morning routine. Since I was already working over here, we're just gonna add the load vitamins. Wow, I think this marker is really dying. Can barely see that that did anything. Okay, now it's time for the morning routine. As I said, I just like to write it once on the Monday column, and then it counts for the rest of the week. And all I do is put the task dot. We're just forgetting to mark things down. Especially earlier this week, I was not living in this planner very much. I didn't actually like go, hey, get yourself together and go look at your planner until Thursday. So, all right, continuing on. Morning routine. So I like to turn to right, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so that's it. Those are all the tasks. And then, like I said, what I do is I grab the color that corresponds. Okay. There we go. Everything has been time blocked. The only thing we need to do now are the to-do lists and the tiny little bit of decoration that I like to do, as well as adding the lunar phases the way we did last week. So, first I'm going to choose the washi tape so that I can decide on the accent color, because the theme for August is white, which means we don't have a lot of choice when it comes to ink color, because the pages are white and nothing that writes in white is going to be seen here. So what are you going to do? Once again, I'm seeing an error. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We can't even worry about it. Okay, so let's choose our washi tape. Let's go with this fun one here. Even though it's sideways. have to remove that. I'm about to cut off the roller skate completely, so let's line it up so that at least the roller skate can come out. There we go. There we go. And so what color are we going to use? We can actually use a mint color because of this minty looking roller skate. So that's just what I'm going to do. Okay, so we have the to-do list. I'm gonna just highlight the week here. Okay, so minty. Groceries. Okay, there we go. We have written all of the list titles. Okay, it is complete. Just need to add our task dots. Oops, wrong color. I always get those two confused. There. Homeschooling, 1, 2, 3. Bookkeeping, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's it. Oh, no, wait. Let's add the lunar phase, which is the 12th moon in Aries, and then the 16th moon in Taurus. So the 12th and the 16th. And the color that we're going to use I think I have like a very light blue, so so oops. Very light blue. So the 12th we have and that's I believe that is waning crescent. Yes, because the full moon was Saturday. So this is waning crescent. In Aries, might as well. And then, shoot, what day was it again? The 16th, so Saturday, last quarter. Okay, last week I took a white gel pen and colored that in, but you can't tell, and why waste the white gel pen on that if you can't even see it? So there it is. We are completely set up for week 33. Now we're going to hop into our affirmations. After the affirmations, we are going to make some entries in our commonplace book. I can already tell that the signal is not good. And that's unfortunate. But let's just get into our affirmations. Hi, Mommy. Many blessings. Okay, so what we are looking for now are the affirmations, which I believe I was ready for. Yes. Okay. So here are our affirmations. I like to, drop into my heart before I say them, get into that good feeling place. So that there's a good feeling behind the words I'm saying. So, I create the conditions for my happiness all of the time. What is today? Today is the 10th. So the color is red. So I'm going to just do that. I have resolved the issues from my past and move forward with clarity into the future. Now, when I first wrote that down, I had no idea what that would possibly mean for me, but holy moly, it's what I need. I have the confidence to ask for what I want and to become more spontaneous in my life. I love myself enough to take excellent care of my body and energy, and they respond with vibrant, good health. And then I added this new one. I have the courage to face the truth. So we're going to mark that, and then we're also going to mark that the affirmations have been said. Now, if you look here, this is why the plan with me helps me remember what I'm supposed to be doing here, because the last time I said affirmations, it was during the plan with me. And so that's one of the good things about coming in and checking in each week. Kind of helps me remember, what am I saying is important? I'm saying these affirmations are so important that I should be saying them every day, but I'm only saying them when it's a part of the content. Got to look at that. Something to pay attention to. Okay, so we have said our affirmations. Let's jump right into the commonplace book. I don't know how much we're going to see because of, what's happening with this stuff. All right, here we go. We have our Dream Interpretation Commonplace book. And before I get into it, I forgot. If you're new here, I'm Ingrid from thinkingthis.com. I am a writer, tarot reader, Akashic record guide, medium, and spiritual empowerment professional. I've discovered that decorative planning keeps me productive and motivated as I parent, homeschool, maintain my spiritual practice, and create content. On Sundays, I go live, time block, and decorate my weekly pages. We also say affirmations and do other spiritual journaling, planning kind of content after the weekly pages are laid out. So that's a little bit about me. I have discovered commonplacing. It's very intriguing. There's an easy way to get caught up in trying to do it right. And I decided that I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just write things as I find them. And so that's what we're going to do. They're not in alphabetical order. They're probably not even in very topical order, but we're going to do it. We're going to figure out how to add the new information that I would like to add. And yeah. Okay. Where are we getting the latest entry from? And it is from this book right here, Women Who Run with the Wolves. This tome, look at all the flags. Look at all the flags. There's so much information in here. This is like a foundational book for women's intuition and women's empowerment. So she talks a lot about dreams in here. And I thought, it's got to be included in my Dream Interpretation Commonplace book. Even though she didn't necessarily intend for the book to be used to interpret dreams, the symbolism that she talks about here is extremely useful for the interpretation of dreams, which is why we need to include whatever we find in here in our Dream Interpretation Commonplace book. So that's what we're going to do today. I have already flagged what I want to include. And so we're going to start with what are we going to start with? Okay, there's nothing here. All right, so then the other thing must be, okay, so, all right, we're going to start with here. We have some bib cards that have not been filed. Maybe one day when we talk about Zettelkasten, I'll get into why I'm doing it like this. But for now, I am looking at page 91 of Women Who Run with the Wolves. And in here, she's got some symbolism regarding clothing. She says that laundering is a symbol for cleansing and the purification of the entire bearing of the psyche. And so we should write that. I'm just going to pull the card out so that it's easier to look. Okay, so let's move that to the back. I feel like I want to do a new page, even though in theory it should go here. But after we add this fact, there's going to be information about the body. And so that makes the most sense to have it fall under B and have it be on the same page as this B. So we're just going to turn the page. And oh crap, we got to make lines. We didn't plan to make lines over here. This is actually hard for you to see too because this is a B5 size. And I have the arm set up to do an overhead on the A5 size. So we're kind of missing some stuff at the bottom here. We're missing like 2 inches of the bottom. Okay, but that said, let's get right into oh man, I also forgot my big ruler. Wow. How big did we say this was going to be? One, two, three, 4, 6, 7. Okay, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I can't count. All right, there we go. And then oh, I do want to be able to make content about this after. So actually, real quick, let's just record. Here we go. Now we can open up ooh, that's pretty bright. Oh, that's the wrong purple. I was using the light purple. One should write these things down. Okay, and then we're leaving 3 spaces on the bottom for threading. Yeah, it's going to be a different color purple there. It's okay. We're leaving it like that. Okay. So here we go. Now we're going to grab our stencil. We're going to do our little capital L here. Ooh, interesting. My microphone won't let me do it. Okay, so we're turning it. Capital L. There we go. We've got our L. We're going to color inside that. Ooh, that's messy, messy, messy. I may have to come back in there with a white gel pen, because that's what it's good for. It's good for stuff like that. Just clean some stuff up. Okay, but we're not going to do that here on camera right now. We are going to write what we know about laundering. And so the pen that we have chosen for that, what is the pen? Oh, I think it's this one. We have chosen Sarasa Grand in black. I think it's Cassius black, but it might just be regular black. I can't remember anymore, but I have a lot of refills of this, so that's why I've chosen this one. Okay, and so laundry. Well, I didn't, not laundry. I'm going to write laundering because that is what I have in my notes, but I also want to confirm. So this is my bib card, and it's saying that the information about laundering is on page 91. So let's go in there. Page 91. Okay. So laundering. Is a symbol for and I'm going to quote here, a cleansing and purification of the entire bearing of the psyche. Okay, and that is on page 91, and we have that as, we just have her last name here. That may change as time goes on. Page 91. There is other laundry related symbolism. The question is, should woven cloth be considered under laundering? Or should that be a W for like woven? Or should it be cloth and then woven cloth? Um, let's see. In mythology, the woven cloth is the work of the life, death, life mothers. So basically, in this tale that she's talking about, Baba Yaga charges Vasilisa to do the laundry, to bring this weaving, these patterns known to the life, death, life goddess out into the open, to consciousness, handling them, washing them, renewing them. And so doing the laundry is bringing patterns known to the life, death, life goddess out into the open. So I'm going to write doing the laundry brings the patterns known to the life, death, life mother, no, life goddess, to consciousness. Oh man, can't see what what I'm doing there. Ugh. All right. Life, death, mother, to consciousness. Okay, so then the patterns, right? Patterns are handled, washed, renewed. Okay. Then she's going into persona. The renewal, the revivifying takes place in the water and the discovering of what we really hold to be true, what we really hold sacred. So clothing represents persona, and then the washing of clothing is the cleansing of a persona, right? So I'm going to write that here. I'm just going to write the cleansing of a persona. Oh, wait, do I want to quote it? All right, I do want to quote it. So I'm going to give a little space because this is now on page 92. And so here we can write 92. And then clothing represents persona. By washing the Yaga's clothes, the initiate herself will see how the seams of persona are sewn, what patterns the gowns take. Soon she herself will have some measure of these persona to place in her closet amidst others she has fashioned throughout her life. I love all that. Okay, so okay, clothing equals persona. Washing the clothing is cleansing the persona. Oops, spelt it wrong. Persona. Washing the clothing is cleansing the persona. Okay, so now I'm just going to quote it. By washing the Yaga's clothes. Yes. By washing the Yaga's clothes, the initiate herself will see how the seams of persona are sewn. What patterns the gowns take. Nah, never mind. Soon, she herself will have some measure of these personae to place in her closet. Amidst others she has fashioned. Throughout her life. Throughout her life. There we go. There's one entry. Do we have time for a second entry? I don't know. It took a minute to like decide what's what with this. I know that what we have next is about the body. So that's actually just going to be on this page. The body. Where? Oh, duh. It's actually in here. I put them in here. Okay, so brutal loss and fairy tales. Okay, so we're actually going to go with, are we going to do brutal loss or are we going to do gruesome? Or should we do both? Well, I'm going to go with gruesome just because I don't see myself using the word, oh, I had a dream with brutal loss, you know? So we're going to make a new entry. The thing about laundry is, should we just go right underneath laundry? Yeah, we should. We're going to go gruesome, but we want the middle of the page, right? Or no? Or it doesn't matter. In theory, the way this is supposed to work is you just make your new entry. But I've already started with the skipping. But it's because I know I'm going to come back with information about the body. So let's just do it. Grotesque. The G. The G for grotesque. If we find more laundry stuff, we'll have to do the threading. That's what the threading is for. Did you even see that? No, you did not. Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. Wow, we're 2 minutes. We're 2 minutes before we're supposed to leave for this live. So if you enjoyed our time together, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can be notified the next time I go live or upload content. There we go. And now we're going to write gruesome. Did I spell gruesome right? Jesus. Grue. UE. Gruesome. Okay. Gruesome endings. And there we go. Okay, so now we get in here. Okay. The brutal episode communicates an imperative psychic truth. No, hold on. Is it really a direct quote? Communicate an imperative psychic truth. Okay. And this is a quote, the brutal motif is an ancient way of causing the emotive self to pay attention to a very serious message. There we go. Gruesome endings and laundering. Those are our two entries. Here we go with our page numbers. So let's just add the page numbers real quick so that we can index and thread what we have so far. If you stay on top of the indexing and threading, it doesn't feel like a terrible task when it's a bunch of entries all at once. Okay, so we need our tweezers. Okay, so I don't count the grid spacing guide. So the first page is going to be the first page of the index. And so page 1 begins over here, which you didn't see, but there it is, right there. Okay, so page 1 begins there. Actually, we should just move this whole thing up because all the page numbers go on the bottom. Page 2. Page 3. page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. This is page 8 and 9. I'm going to put the thing here, even though we really don't know what this page is going to be, because I haven't erased everything here. It's going to go right there. Okay. And then here we go. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Okay. Now we're going to stick this thingy in the back again. And now we are going to number everything. So we already know the index is on pages what? Pages 1 through 7. So we're going to write that here. Index. Well, should we have numbered the index? Whatever. We're actually going to change where the index is written so that we can keep all the page numbers on this side. I'm going to change that. And then we can write, I'm going to write it like this now. Index. And then the index is pages 1 through 7. One through 7. Okay, so that's the index. Shoes is on page 10. Shoes is on page 10. Feet without shoes also on page 10. Blue, Southwest blue on page 11. And then laundering. Page 12, and gruesome endings, also page 12. And there's our index. Now let's quickly thread, and then we will say goodnight. Okay, so we've got the indexes. Now threading. Is there something to thread here? We've got shoes, we've got feet, we've got blue, We've got laundry. We've got gruesome endings. Oh, and I forgot to write what page that gruesome endings thing was. That was page 218. Okay, so Essie's. Estes, page 218. Okay. We didn't have anything to thread. I thought there might have been, but not yet. So there's nothing to thread. I should probably get a piece of paper to keep in here for threading topics so that I remember that, you know, what is being threaded. But right now, there's nowhere else that anything is discussed because we only have about 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have about 5 entries. So that's it. That's that. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for commenting if you commented. Thank you for liking if you liked it. And we will see you next week to plan and affirm week 34.